The edge computing is referring to computers that are installed very close to where they are needed. So if you are a train driver and in each cabin there is a computer that collects data from each of the train cabins, then these are pretty much defined as an edge computing. If you are drilling oil for oil and you have a computer on the driller which measures all kinds of data, then this is another type of edge computing. Edge computing is becoming more and more increasingly frequently installed because we collect much more data and we take decisions based on this data. However, edge computing is also facing many new challenges which are less found in standard data centers, although we can define some of the data centers also as edge computers if they are closer to the user. So if you have a customer in South Africa and your cloud infrastructure in Europe, then we could theoretically consider an edge computer which is installed on South Africa inside the data centers also as edge computer. But continuing the challenges of edge computing, then we have the challenge of the energy because we need to supply energy to this edge computer, which can be in the middle of the desert or in the middle of the ocean. Also, we need to pay money for the transfer of data because the edge computer is separated from the cloud infrastructure. Then we need to pass data in and out the edge computer, and usually we need to pay for it. Not always. There are some new services that are springingly coming up, which will not ask you to pay for the data transfer, but in many cases you do need to pay for the data transfer. Also, you need to upgrade and install the edge computer, and this is can also become tricky because sometimes this is just a firmware that you had, and in other cases you have some battery limitations and you're simply not near it, and again you don't want to pay for all this extra networking and to upgrade it on daily basis. If there is a crisis and if there is process problem with the upgrade, you will face many difficulties. So upgrades are super challenging. Also, we need to sync the edge computer. So if the edge computer is collecting data and we have some data center and databases, then we don't want obviously to aggregate all the data on the edge computer because we have many edge computers, so we need to centralize it and then do all the analytics on a central place. So we have a sync, and the sync is not only from one place to another, from the edge computer to the data center, but it's multiple directions. So we have a sync both from the data center to the edge computer and also from the edge computer into the data center. How come? So, for example, we could take some decisions on the edge computer based on data. So, for example, we could update the models on the edge computer. So, this is a sync. Where is the sync coming from? It's coming from the data center. Also, we have some size limitation on the edge computer because it's not a full-blown server. In many cases, it's a small server. It could be simply a minified OS, a minified Linux system, or simply a very low-level um, computer. So, in addition to all this, we have all the networking, all the network costs. So there are many challenges. One of the interesting projects that aims to solve some of these, very few of these challenges, mainly dealing with data, with sync, with pulling data, with pushing data, is a project called Harper DB. So HyperDB is a database that is uh, taking an approach of actively knowing that it's going to be probably installed on an edge computer, and so it tells you, I'm going to solve some of I'm going to already code some of the things that you would need to code, like syncing. You can say this table should be synced to the cloud, or you can say this table should be synced from the cloud to here, or you can say take summaries every 10 minutes of this data and sync it and resolve conflict. You can say that these two tables should be replicated across all the edge computers. So you are more responsible of putting data in the database, defining the schemas, and then the HyperDB will help you move in between lower amounts of data, you would not need, for example, to call an API and upload files. You tell this table, you table, sync with the cloud, and then the edge computer should be smart enough, and the HarperDB should be smart enough to know how to pass this data maybe on a daily basis or less. So this was a very brief summary into Edge Computer and into how the tools, interesting tools such as HarperDB, I think it's very interesting, could assist us in the Edge Computers era.